effect for parts of Northern Virginia and Maryland. So if it does reach code orange, anybody who...
Now
on News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
O'Connor and Company.
It is 8:06 on O'Connor and Company. We're all fired up now for our fourth and final hour. We'll hand it off to Chris Plant coming up in 60 minutes. But you know Chris Plant, he's just got to be like chomping at the bit, raring to go.
Yeah.
Exactly. We got to turn the lights on brighter. He's got like a contract writer. You know how Van Halen asked you to, remove all the green M&Ms from the bowl and stuff. That's what Chris Plant is like. Chris Plant, well, the stuff that we got to do to get the studio ready for him, he's a terror. Chris is so nice.
Today
He's so funny.
for me?
Yeah, no, it's your turn to vacuum.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll spray down the microphones and
Right.
keyboards. He's fastidious, that Chris Plant.
He is.
Anyway, he begins coming up in just 1 hour. Today's the first day of school. How great is that? Is it your kid's
Not
first day?
for me.
Not in Alexandria. We got no way to. Alexandria public schools.
Well, yeah.
It is for Alexandria, but your
kidding.
your
I don't
kids
send
are
my kids there. Yeah.
exactly not anymore. Fairfax County, Alexandria City, Prince William County Public Schools, Manassas Park City, Loudon returns Thursday. And Arlington, D.C., Montgomery County, Prince George's will return August 28th. So they still got another week.
Yeah, so today is the last day. You know what's going on with your kids.
Exactly. And now, you still know what's going on with your kids, but it's just bad stuff. Yeah.
Not when they're in school.
Watch your children.
Mm-hmm.
Fairfax County, as predicted, has decided to buck Governor Youngkin's.
Well, they're not the only one. Alexandria City Public Schools has announced also that they will not comply with the model policies as well as most of the Northern Virginia districts.
Let's be clear what Governor. Well, first of all, the day these model policies came out, we told you this will be fascinating because when Fairfax County and Loudoun got all these same school systems had masking policies and vaccination policies and stay home policies, and you started complaining about it, they said, "Well, listen,
hey,
we'd love to help you out
of our hands.
We got to follow the model policies set forth by the governor and the Board of Education." So when they like the policies, they pretend they have to follow them.
Yeah.
Now they don't like Governor Youngkin's policies, so now they're ignoring
let's also,
them.
I really kind of get a little bit annoyed when I hear, Governor Youngkin's new model policies. All that Governor Youngkin is doing is returning them to what they were just a couple years ago.
That's right.
Before Northam went insane.
Right.
And appointed a bunch of lunatics into the Virginia Department of Education who implemented a bunch of radical ideas.
Mm-hmm.
So, you go back just a couple years ago, and these were the policies. Boys cannot, and I love how this is like controversial. Boys can't go into the girls' locker room. Yeah. Boy, thanks. That's really controversial. No, he's returning it to the norms that the vast majority of parents support.
Yeah, and the hallmark, the cornerstone of Governor Youngkin's model policies for public schools in the Commonwealth of Virginia is that parents are the primary stakeholders in their children's education. And that education, of course, goes well beyond reading, writing, and arithmetic. But the point is that parents need to be the focus. Parents have a say. Parents know what's best for their kids. And Fairfax County just said to you, Mom and Dad, bull. You don't know what's best for your kids. We know what's best for your kids.
It also suggests that parents are bad and are abusers.
That's right.
Now, I want to be very clear here. If an official detects that a child is being abused, let's say they come out and they say, I want to change my pronouns, and their parents physically abuse them or assault them or verbally abuse them, if that is occurring, you have to report that to the authorities. Mm-hmm. None of this has changed. If a child is being abused, a teacher has to report that to authorities. That hasn't changed.
Meanwhile, how are kids in Fairfax County benefiting and faring from the great educational system and the fact that professional educators and school counselors and unionized public school teachers know best how to raise your kids? Well, here's a nice story. Armed robbery on a golf course in Fairfax County. Hidden Creek Country Club. 3 people, including a 14-year-old and a 16-year-old,
Good God,
arrested for armed robbery after the group robbed a party of golfers right there in the middle of the day on the golf course.
At a country club.
Now, I don't know what more to tell you.
It is interesting, the youth, the young people that are committing these crimes. You hear about all these carjackings. It's often a very, very young person who is doing these carjackings. So, yeah.
Well, they'll
not
tell you,
surprised.
of course, that carjackings and armed robberies or all of that. It's a result of the inequity in our system.
Oh, that's right.
We need criminal justice. This is why the students of Fairfax County school system need to learn about equity more than anything else. More than how are math and reading scores doing in Fairfax County?
Not good.
Not
and also,
so
there
much.
seems to be a problem with kids actually showing up to school.
Well, that's in the District of Columbia. Yes,
Yes, but
The
that's a problem.
Chronic truancy in D.C. is up 48%. I
Yeah,
believe.
and that's
48%
true of the whole
the
region,
children.
Larry,
yeah.
too.
That's true. It is true of the entire region. But when they do go to school, they're learning about equity. You're
right.
learning about the systemic racism in our society. They're learning that, because the deck is stacked against you and because of the systemic
never
racism.
amount to anything.
So you might as well. I mean, there's a reason why you would resort to violent crime and
That's
armed
right.
robbery and such.
You have no choice.
But there's good news. Fairfax County they have the solution to all of this. Fairfax is really knocking it out of the
I
park.
tell you.
Fairfax County is launching a guaranteed income program. That's right. Because that always solves the crime problem. Just give people free money. I mean, look at San Francisco and Los Angeles. It's working out well there.
They did a pilot program just like this in Alexandria City. Crime is skyrocketing in Alexandria City.
Well, they have rules here. To be able to participate, you get $750 a month of just free money, guaranteed income. All right. You have to be employed. You have to have at least one child age 16 or younger. And they have to have an income that falls between 150 and 250% of the federal poverty level, which is currently $30,000 for a family of four. So if the poverty level is $30,000 and you've got to have at least 150%, so that means $45,000 minimum. Up to, doing math in my head, $75,000. So you're living in Fairfax County, you've got a kid, and you're making $75,000 a year. You're eligible.
There you go.
You're eligible for $750 a month of free money, and that will absolutely solve the problem.
Yes. Yeah, that should do it.
It will solve the problem of making everyone in the Fairfax County government feel really good about themselves.
How many pizzas is that? Not many.
No. Really isn't. You also have to live in one of the certain zip codes of Fairfax County. I'm not going to give it to you because none of you are going to apply for it because you actually have some morals and principles.
Pride.
And pride. And you wouldn't jump on board with something like this. But this has been tried over and over and over again, and it never works. But there's always somebody who pushes
They always throw
this
these
through.
solutions out instead of actually, I don't know, hiring more police.
Yeah.
Actually prosecuting criminals.
By the way, it is so insulting to say that the reason that you've got high crime is because of poverty, because the vast, vast, vast majority of people who live at poverty level incomes are good, upstanding, faithful citizens who follow the law.
The left always suggests people are bad. We know this. Parents are going to abuse their kids. The poor are automatically going to steal cars.
Right.
I mean, they always see people as bad actors. And that's why if you talk to true leftists, if you talk to liberal Democrats, they're miserable people because obviously they see everything through the lens that humans are bad.
Yeah. Oh, welcome back to school, everybody there in
you go.
Fairfax County. You might want to consider homeschooling. It's 8:15 now, WMAL traffic and weather every 10 minutes. First on the fives with Jamie Whitten in the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
News Talk 105.9.
WMAL.
Making sense of the news.
I'm getting yelled at right now by every woman in my life because I refer to Meredith sometimes as kiddo. Hey, kiddo. What is wrong with that? Why are you giving me that look? Heather Hunter is outraged. Julie Gunlock is outraged. What does Darren call you?
He doesn't call me kiddo.
I think it's cute. Buddy?
Maybe there's a little bit
I mean,
of
I
buddy.
call her honey a lot, too.
Good, dear.
Sweetie. Yo, babe.
That's good.
Hey, baby.
Yeah, that's okay.
But not kiddo.
No.
Our
Weird.
anniversary is today, Happy anniversary, kiddo.
Happy anniversary.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Stop with the kiddo.
8 years.
Wow.
8 years. I know.
That's impressive.
I know. So, speaking of crime, so Fairfax County's... Speaking of robbing the cradle, you know what I'm saying? Sorry.
Oh, dear.
We were speaking of crime, about Fairfax County crime and rising crime issues around the area. Chicago's been dealing with this crime thing. I mean, please, we're amateurs around here when it comes to violent crime and public.
They perfected it.
Yes, dystopia that is Chicago right now. So it's still bad. People are killing each other, shooting each other in the streets. This is Barack Obama. And by the way, what party is in charge of Chicago for 100 years now?
Is it that No Labels group?
Yeah, almost. Yeah, basically. The Democrats now in Chicago have a great new idea. A Chicago City Council member has said, we got to get a handle on the violent crime, especially the shootings. I mean, the shootings are insane in Chicago. So they got a great idea. You know how we have no gun zones and how effective those are?
Very helpful.
Right,
yes.
Exactly. Well, now this city council member has decided that they want to have a new law that they're going to put in fight that mandates that gangs refrain from engaging in gunfights during daylight hours.
Did they put a pretty please?
Yeah, please. It would be so nice if you would stop shooting each other at least during the daytime. Could we at least have the daytime? They're serious about this.
Oh my God.
There is a community group that has now been endorsed. It's called Native Sons, and it's endorsed by one of the Chicago City Council members. The city council member, by the way, brilliantly said when asked about this policy and saying, really, this is your solution to have 12 hours of no shooting of each other? But then all bets are off at night. Sun goes down, have at it, folks. Really, that's your plan?
Make sure you're inside.
And I kid you not, the response was, oh, we have to start somewhere. That's where we are in Chicago.
That's where you're starting?
Yeah, we got to start somewhere.
Oh, dear.
So our goal is to approach our city's gun violence problem strategically and not all at once. Things didn't become this way overnight, and it won't change overnight. Well, it certainly won't change overnight if they're allowed to shoot each other overnight. Hey, they should reverse this.
This is a really...
No shooting at night, only shoot during the daytime when we can see your face and identify you we can throw you in jail.
This is essentially a curfew for law-abiding citizens. It conveys, I mean, obviously the criminals are not going to abide by this 12-hour no shooting rule, but it really does say to the people, look, it's your fault if you're out past 9.
Yeah, it's your own fault. You knew the rules.
Right.
That's when the shooting happens.
You idiot. And don't stand near a window.
If people know that after a certain hour, the likelihood of them being shot by an unknown or unprovoked assailant are at a higher risk, they'll be less likely to be out and about.
There you go.
And they'll become more proactive with the supervision of their children.
I love how, I wonder if the National Restaurant Association or some local restaurant and bar association is going to come out and go, hey, guys, we kind of rely on people being up past 9 p.m.
Right, exactly. Going out to restaurants and bars. So Dennis Prager, great thinker, PragerU and everything. I remember years and years and years ago, he used to say, just have a thought experiment for me. If it was the law in the United States of America that if you're convicted of murder and that murder took place on Saturday, instant death penalty. But any other day of the week.
Really?
Yeah, just think it through for a minute. Okay. You're convicted of murder. If the murder took place on a Saturday, instant death penalty.
Okay.
Just no questions asked, no appeals. You're convicted, you're dead. But if the murder took place on any other day, it's life in prison. Now, thinking that through, if that's the law, how many murders do you think will take place on Saturday versus the rest of the week?
Not many.
Of course, because you know that the penalty is harsh. So I've got one amendment to this, to the shooting thing in Chicago. Great. 12 hours, gun-free, no shooting during the daytime hours. And then it's nighttime, then, go ahead and shoot. But if you're arrested, death penalty. Now you're talking.
Yep.
Now you're talking. Now, because when you know that there's a really harsh penalty for something as bad as, shooting somebody, then maybe you'll stop doing it.
Yeah.
Maybe if you know that you're going to get arrested and you're going to get convicted and you'll be put to death. And listen, I'm not a huge proponent of the death penalty. I'm using this as a thought experiment, okay? But punishment, harsh punishment and incarceration for heinous crimes that we as a society have decided is a heinous crime, usually that has an impact. Usually that works.
Well, I'm at this point just asking for people to be arrested. Okay.
Again, this didn't happen overnight. We got to crawl before we walk.
I get your think sort of thought experiment here, but I'm just asking prosecutors to charge people and to, I don't know.
That's fair.
Keep them in jail. This is
good place to start.
Yeah, talking about her, we have to start somewhere. Let's start there.
Let's start. It's 8:23.
Making sense of your world.
Greatly appreciated.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
I love listening to you.
Making sense of the news. Now,
On News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
O'Connor and Company.
I mean, it's a classic rock favorite. It's on my my running mixtape. You know, do you have like a little one? Oh,
No, but
this is great beat for me.
yeah. He's
Right,
dancing,
left,
folks.
Right, left. I'm running. This is my jogging.
Oh.
When I'm out
That's
working
good.
out, there's a good running beat.
Yeah, that's a good
And I
beat.
sing along because it's from my era, and I
Yeah,
love Queen and
course.
Freddie Mercury, and it's just
Yeah.
a classic song and hilarious. Remember the album with the Fat Bottom Girls and girls riding
Yes.
the bicycles, the Bicycle Race album, and all that stuff. Yeah, they're being canceled now. Freddie Mercury and Queen, they're canceling that song. There's a new greatest hits selection. By the way, why do you need another Queen greatest hits? There's the
Yeah, I know.
Get Platinum Collection Volume 1, Volume 2. That's all you need from every Queen song ever written, and you'll love it.
Remember, Larry, every few years there's a new generation rediscovering these great songs.
Well, they'll be discovering it without that song. Fat Bottom Girls has been dropped from the Queen Greatest Hits collection now. So they're rewriting history.
Wait, who
in
is
there.
it? Explain this to me because I did not see this
Oh,
article. Who are they
Heather
offending?
just gave us the
Fat Bottom Girls?
the album cover here, just
Yes,
so
I
you
s-
can see
I
what I'm
see it.
referring to. This was the album cover for Bicycle Race Fat Bottom Girls was a quintessential part of my
Yes. A lovely-
prepubescence.
Yes. So wait a minute. We live in an era where Lizzo can wear basically nothing on screen and be celebrated. And we've got this whole raging fat acceptance movement, which is
Yes.
dangerous
Yeah.
and wrong. And Queen's cover here showing a woman with a generous behind on a bike. And the
But it's
I
not
guess
even
the-
generous. It's just
No, she looks
curvy.
great.
She's a curvy.
Oh, she's
girl.
curvy.
Yeah.
And
Lovely.
that's offensive?
Well, it's funny. The picture is not why they're canceling it.
Right,
the
but the-
song itself, apparently.
Oh.
It's a 1978 track, by the way. It's a great song, great harmonies. Queen's best loved songs, always a huge crowd favorite during concerts and live performances. It's just been mysteriously dropped from the new Greatest Hits collection.
Songs like WAP.
yes,
totally fine.
The WAP.
Yes, I'm not going to
situation.
talk about what that stands for.
Yeah.
That's okay. Got it.
The song was written by guitarist Brian May and has been enjoyed by generations of fans as a humorous and hard-rocking tribute to a young man's appreciation for fuller-figured ladies.
Which I thought we were supposed to be celebrating.
Says the Daily Mail. Headline, by the way, "We Will Woke You."
Yes, there you go.
Classic Queen song, Fat Bottom Girls. So, as Heather Hunter, our great producer, questions, what's going to happen with "Baby Got Back" from Sir Mix-a-Lot?
Yeah.
I mean, we gotta. Can we, Michael? I'm counting on you. There we go.
I'm offended.
I am.
Instantly triggered.
This was the 90s version of Fat Bottom Girls.
Oh, God, I've got flashbacks. Oh, there might have been some awkward dancing in the 90s that I'm thinking about.
Was your boyfriend wearing the MC Hammer parachute pants?
I was.
Well, there you go. Apparently, the move has left music industry insiders bemused, with bosses insisting that Fat Bottom Girls has wrongly been singled out as it's merely a bit of fun.
Yeah,
One music
remember
insider told the Mail, "It is the talk of the music industry. Nobody can work out why such a good-natured, fun song can't be accepted in today's society." Well, I mean, we don't like to play that game here. I feel like
this is the lyrics. I think "Left Alone with My Big Fat Fanny." She was such a naughty nanny,
Yes.
big woman, blah, blah, blah. But again, songs like WAP are totally fine.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I think could we go back to cut 8, please? Because we're just going to defy everybody and it's going to become the new theme song
There we go.
of this program. Let it all hang out. I'm telling you, so all across the Beltway just now, men and
Everybody-
women our age just
their
did
heads-
what I just did with the
Yes.
head.
The headbanger head. Yeah.
Come on, Freddie.
How's your neck?
A little sore. There you go. That's my Fat Bottom Girls tribute. So listen, screw it. You know, I'm just angry. I'm angry at people erasing my childhood for the sake of their own. And you're right. Who is?
It's just so funny.
It's upsetting to me.
Erasing my childhood.
I will not be erased. But you're right. And who is really offended by this?
Yeah, humorless, woke morons.
Okay.
That's it.
Thank you.
Party poopers.
It's woke gone mad. Why not appreciate people of all shapes and sizes like society is saying we should rather than get rid of it? It's outrageous. Fat Bottom Girls has long sparked debate about the suitability of its lyrics the promotional material that accompanied. Well, the promotional material was a little misogynistic. But let's not forget, Freddie Mercury was the gayest man on the planet.
Okay. It's the 70s. Adjust, everyone. Calm down.
That Freddie Mercury is objectifying women for sexual purposes. No, I assure you he's not. I promise you.
Let's admit it. Freddie Mercury was a little confused and confusing, so who knows what he was thinking. But I know he was gay.
He wasn't gay. He was gay. Freddie Mercury was confused. There was no confusion there. I promise you. Let's just close all those love songs that he sang. What was the Crazy Little Thing Called Love?
Yeah.
Which I'm told he wrote while sitting in a bubble bath in Saint-Tropez. Just did Crazy Little Thing Called Love, just so you know, was not about a girl.
Well, I yes.
It was so Fat Bottom Girls was not objectifying women.
Okay.
Unless
he's very
unless
tense
it was
right
Leah
now.
Thomas.
His childhood is being erased.
Well, because I really like Queen, and I
should be more gentle. Yeah. Whatever you say.
Can I tell you a quick joke real fast?
Sure.
We have a midshipman now that we're sponsoring, new plebe, and he's on the swim team for the Naval Academy. He's a Navy swimmer. And so he was in. And
Don't get him in trouble, okay?
I'm not naming names.
Okay.
And we're hanging out and we're talking, and it's not. Yeah, I'm not going to get him. And so, and we're talking about favorite swimmers, Michael. And he says, "Oh, it's so cool to be at the pool because you got Michael Phelps' name up on the wall because he broke a pool record there, and Ledecky's name is there on the wall. She broke records there." And I said, "I don't know, Ledecky is amazing. I can't believe she's at her 4th Olympics." He goes, "Yeah, she has no match. There's no equal. No one can beat Katie Ledecky." And I said, "Well, Leah Thomas," and he just busted out laughing. It's 8:43.
Making sense of your world.
I agree with everything you're saying.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
My heart just breaks for what's going on.
Making sense of the news.
You know, just when you're getting used to the language of Gen Z and the LOL and the emojis and all I still see little initials like LMFAO. I get now.
Yeah. Yes.
What about IY?
There's also one about
IYKYK.
There's IYK in
if
case you missed it.
No, if you know, you know.
Yes.
If you know.
And then there's also this one about fear of being left out.
I don't know.
FOMO?
Yeah.
FOMO.
Oh, yeah, or something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But occasionally then there's these emails, there's these articles that come out that say like, the young generation doesn't like it when you put a thumbs up, or they don't like it when, and you're like,
Right.
Okay.
You know what? I do the okay sign. Remember when they said okay was the
Racist.
white power sign?
Yes.
I do that. I do it incessantly now to everybody. I do it incessantly, especially to people who are a little on the woker side. Anyway, now Gen Z has decided they hate LOL. LOL is for boomers. Stop with the LOL. They don't do LOL. They IJBOL.
What in the world does that?
IJBOL. I think it.
So they've lengthened it.
Yeah, they've lengthened it exactly.
So what does that stand for?
I just burst out laughing.
Oh, good God.
Exactly.
They didn't, because they never do, because they're too serious.
I love it when there's an LOL and you say LOL even if you didn't laugh out loud, but you still say LOL.
Yeah.
But then sometimes I actually laughed out loud. And so then when I do LOL, I have to say I literally LOL. Just like, what are we doing here? For God's sake, we have too much time on our hands.
We're really getting dumber.
So if you see IJBOL, which actually seems kind of dirty. I don't know why, but just on the face of it. No, it sounds a little something like Freddie Mercury would do after a gig.
Stop.
Hey, Freddie, what are you doing? Hey, come on over to my suite. We're all going to do it IJBOL.
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done. Anyway, if you see IJBOL, that's what it means. It's no longer LOL. It's no longer ROFL. And it's
it's not something dirty.
And it's no longer LMAFO. No, LM.
We should have done Critter News.
LMFAO.
Should have done the Critter News.
You know what LMFAO is.
Not talking about
All right.
that.
Anyway, now it's IJBOL. And as I share this information with you about Generation Z and their priorities and how they have really gotten together and figured out how to solve the world's problems by replacing LOL and LMFAO and what's the other one?
I don't know. I'm so confused at this point.
ROFL. They have replaced it with IJBOL. I also want to take this moment to remind you that this will be the generation in charge of our retirements. Every single thing pertaining to
These are the home health care nurses that are going to come to your
everything.
house.
They'll take care of everything for us. They will be bathing us. They will be taking us to the showers, and also they'll be making decisions about our Social Security and our Medicare and health treatment.
Pictures of us and tweeting it out with IJBOL.
With IJBOL, exactly. Well, now you know the proper usage. And you'll be sitting there trying to find your favorite Queen song, and they deleted it because it offends them. Because guess what? They have fat bottoms. It's 8:50. All right, Julie Gunlock, that's a wrap. Are you done? Are you done cleaning up Mr. Plant's broadcast surface?
Yes.
His
I just
area.
Yes.
It is really generous of him to allow you to use his microphone during the show. I'm not allowed to.
It's an honor.
Yeah. Hey, Chris, how's it going?
I almost tripped over the vacuum cleaner cord when I came in.
You're supposed to put that away.
My bad.
And you missed an area completely right over here.
We'll get right back to it.
The noise is really too much for.
We'd like to say you'll have a chance to do better tomorrow, but apparently not.
I'm fine.
You're done. You're done here. Don't cross Chris Plant.
I was enjoying listening to your excellent radio broadcast on the way in, and I was having fun, and then I checked my phone, and I heard that they've now banned skinny bottom girls too. It's really, there's just no winning with
no girls with bottoms at all.
Honestly, now it's going with robot